Thanks, Adam. I'm here with Jim Clausen from Sit Mean Sit and Rocco and
That's
Dr.
right.
Gary Wilson. And so we're going to talk about holiday safety for the pets
That's right.
today.
That's right.
So I'm sure you've probably seen everything, right?
Well, I'll tell you, we have seen a lot of things. You know, pets a lot of times will get into decorations, get into plants. People come over for holiday cheer, going, you know, for dinners,
Yeah.
cocktail parties, and that kind of things.
What's the number one danger to your dogs?
Well, there are some plants like mistletoe, lilies, poinsettias can be harmful to the pets. You want to make sure that they can't get into these things. Chocolates are very bad.
Yeah.
But basically any type of candies and any types of foods that they're not used to getting into at all.
And they can sniff them out even if they're wrapped, right? Underneath your tree.
Absolutely. So you want to try to keep them away from those areas.
Okay.
And try to keep them safe. If for any reason your pet gets into something and isn't feeling well, go see your family veterinarian right away.
So I know there's just like hazards all over your house during the holidays.
Absolutely.
Talk to me a little bit about tinsel.
Well, tinsel, especially with cats, our pet cats, like to get into these little linear tinsels and yarns and things like that. They like to get on them and chew them.
Yeah.
And sometimes if they actually ingest them, can cause a major problem. That can be very, very harmful.
So, Jim, how do you teach your dogs to stay away from this stuff?
And that's the thing. That's the key word, teaching them. Like with Rocco, when I was first introducing him, when I first got him, you guys know I haven't had him very long, but during Thanksgiving, I brought him on a leash. I had him in the house so I can show him what was expected. I walked him around the table where there was turkey, and every time he started to look at it, I'd bring him over to his dog bed, I'd make him sit down, and I'd give him his bone. So I kept rewarding him by going over to his dog bed. If he'd have been off the leash, I wouldn't have been able to control the variables. And he could have, you know, he's a big enough dog, he could have just put his nose right up on the table and stole the turkey right off the table if he wanted. But I also do that.
Hey, buddy.
Stephanie gives him gifts, so he knows he's winning. He do all these tricks for Stephanie. But it's about keeping the pet safe. So there's times when I'll utilize my crate if I have to keep him safe, especially if I can't be there to supervise the dog, or have him on the leash so that I can teach him not to hike his leg on the Christmas tree. I mean, he's a new dog to me. He was an adult male when I got him. And so that was the one thing my wife worried about, is how he's going to respond when we bring a tree into the house. So we had to get him to pay attention not to go to the bathroom on the tree. But you can do this by...
cats do that too.
Oh, yeah.
Or how about drinking the water from if it's a live tree?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you put chemicals in it to keep the tree alive.
So what we did is every time he got near the tree, I just gave him a little tug on the leash and I made him go lay down. And I kept rewarding him for laying down and not disciplining him for being around the tree. But you control the variables, either using the crate or putting them back on leash just to help the dog. Because they don't know when you bring that tree in the house. They don't know they're not supposed to jump up on the table and steal that turkey.
Gotcha. So I know a lot of times too during the holidays people aren't home for long periods. They're out shopping, they leave the dog home. Do you think is that usually when these accidents happen,
That's
when nobody's
when you're going
home?
to have those accidents.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
So you want to control the variables. Putting the dog in a crate, taking him to doggy daycare, having a friend watch him, put him in their dog run outside. But control and manage that environment so you don't have an accident.
Gotcha. So maybe keep them out of the room that has the tree and the tinsel and the candy.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. So what else should we do? Should we need to know?
Well, there's a couple things. Number one, with your dog, when new people come over, sometimes it stresses the dog out. If you're seeing your dog getting stressed, again, control the variables. Take him to the room where he likes to be quiet. You can put up a baby gate. You can put him in the back bedroom. But keep him controlled, and if you see the stress starting to build, recognize it. I mean, most dogs are really friendly, but sometimes when you get dozens of people at the house, and some of the people are dominant, some are passive, and if the dog is going to get stressed, here's the mistake a lot of people make, is they'll walk up and they'll say, oh, I love dogs, and if I show him love, he'll love me too. Well, some dogs...
Not necessarily.
That's right. If you get in their face and they're stressed already... They can't tell you, hey, you're scaring me to death. There's 50 people in the house. Please don't touch me. So they'll reach out and snap. And it's not that the dog is bad. It's just that in that situation with that amount of stress,
he's scared.
He's scared. And so it's best if you see the stress and the anxiety, just take the dog to a comfortable area, make him comfortable, control the variables, control and manage the environment so you don't have an accident.
All right, well, if you want to contact Jim, here is the information for you. Can't talk today. You can email us here at the station, and if you have any questions, and we'll send them right over to Jim, and he'll let us know what those answers are. You can also visit your website, boisesitmeansit.com, or give them a call. Thanks for joining us this morning, Jim. Have a great holiday. You too, Rocco.